Gospel for today. Daily Mass readings and reflection. Holy Thursday, April 6, 2023. First reading. Exodus chapter 12. Verses 1 to 8, 11 to 14. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, "This month shall stand at the head of your calendar, you shall reckon it the first month of the year. Tell the whole community of Israel. On the 10th of this month every one of your families must procure for itself a lamb, one apiece for each household. If a family is too small for a whole lamb, it shall join the nearest household in procuring one and shall share in the lamb in proportion to the number of persons who partake of it. It shall be slaughtered during the evening twilight. They shall take some of its blood and apply it to the two doorposts and the lintel of every house in which they partake of the lamb. That same night they shall eat its roasted flesh with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. This day shall be a memorial feast for you, which all your generations shall celebrate with pilgrimage to the Lord, as a perpetual institution." Responsorial Psalm. Our blessing cup is a communion with the blood of Christ. Second reading. Corinthians chapter 11. Verse 23 to 26. Brothers and sisters, I received from the Lord what I also handed on to you, that the Lord Jesus, on the night he was handed over, took bread, and, after he had given thanks, broke it and said, "This is my body that is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way also the cup, after supper, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this, as often as you drink it, in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink the cup, you proclaim the death of the Lord until he comes." Gospel. John chapter 13. Verse 1 to 15. Before the feast of Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to pass from this world to the Father. He loved his own in the world and he loved them to the end. The devil had already induced Judas, son of Simon the Iscariot, to hand him over. So, during supper, fully aware that the Father had put everything into his power and that he had come from God and was returning to God, he rose from supper and took off his outer garments. He took a towel and tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and dry them with the towel around his waist. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Master, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered and said to him, "What I am doing, you do not understand now, but you will understand later." Peter said to him, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus answered him, "Unless I wash you, you will have no inheritance with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Master, then not only my feet, but my hands and head as well." Jesus said to him, "Whoever has bathed has no need except to have his feet washed. For he is clean all over, so you are clean. But not all." For he knew who would betray him. For this reason, he said, "Not all of you are clean." So when he had washed their feet and put his garments back on and reclined at table again, he said to them, "Do you realize what I have done for you? You call me teacher and master, and rightly so, for indeed I am. If I, therefore, the master and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash one another's feet. I have given you a model to follow, so that as I have done for you, you should also do." Reflection. He began to wash the disciples' feet. Washing someone else's feet was considered servile, assigned to a pagan servant or slave, not to an Israelite. Jesus surprises his disciples when he washes their feet in a gesture of service. Jesus relinquishes his position as the teacher and master to impress upon his disciples the meaning of self-humiliation and self-giving that would be accomplished on the cross on the following day. In Jesus, the suffering servant, God stoops down to the level of humanity and, by Jesus' ultimate sacrifice on the cross, washes away the sins of the whole world.